Well, it seems the neighborhood cat has left me with a welcome gift. That is disgusting. All right, it's pretty hot out. I'm going to some sort of random linen place to pick up some barrels for water. There's still a lot of issues with getting the water turned on, so I think this is the best short-term solution for this. So hopefully I don't get murdered. Guys, you may be wondering why I look like a serial killer with all these blue barrels. And the real question is, why do I have them? And why do I have so many of them? And why are they in this van? So to answer that question, we actually have to go back to the basement, where our heating system doesn't work. And in order to turn the water on, since it's about to get cold soon, we want the heating system to work. And the heating system is really far from working. So the best option is to transport water. And let me show you my setup. All right, guys, it's blazing hot out here, and I got my water transfer set up. So a little spigot spout here in the back of the car, 55 gallons, maybe a little less at the time because it's filled up to about here. And here's my scare that it's gonna roll. I don't know yet. We're about to find out, so stay tuned. Here is my barrel. I put some tires to prevent it from rolling around. I'm gonna show you how we're gonna get the water inside. Here's the van. Here is the window. And it's kind of hard to see, but inside the window I have barrels. And in my barrel, I have the top bung, and I put in this valve attached to this garden hose. Now this garden hose is cut, and it actually might be weeping a little bit of water, but basically I use the bung hole expander. I'll show you guys that tool later. We have an ongoing joke that you'd hate to see that at a proctologist's office. So we will be opening that, and then I have a small transfer pump, which will pump inside. Let's go inside real quick. Here's our window, and you can see the barrel outside, and here is our tiny pump. So we're gonna take that and pump that in here. Hey guys, so despite them saying this pump is self-priming, which is a complete lie, because it's not. You have to prime it, which is why this also makes sense, because this hose down here is going to be a lot lower than up there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on very slightly, and then I'm going to open the valve just so enough water comes out. I see water, and I'll tighten that. And that will tell me that this currently has water. So I'll stick that end into the hose. Actually, I might even actually go a little bit deeper since my hose is so long. Let's go inside. So this is open, but one thing we have to remember is this cap has to be open. This top cap has to be opened, because if it's not, hopefully no water comes out. Perfect. If it's not, we're gonna have a vacuum. All right, we're back inside. So conventional wisdom would say we should pump the one closest, but I figured since we're trying to make life slightly easier, we'll pump to the furthest one we can. Actually, let's be safe and just do the second one. All right, let's go to the second one. We have our pump primed, and this thing is super slow, so we'll be able to see what happens. All right, let's just plug this thing in. And look at that thing of beauty. Hard to tell in here, but look at that stream of water. It's coming right out. That motor is not the quietest, but it is pumping probably around 10 gallons a minute, which isn't fast. So, I mean, I think it's a little bit faster just because I think in 50 minutes I should be able to pump everything out, but it is a thing of beauty, because that is the most amount of water I have transported in one go. I used to be doing gallon pumps, like gallon jugs, and doing one at a time. Matter of fact, I used to be doing this stuff. You know, carrying this one at a time, and that was a pain. Now, we can do almost a full barrel at a time just coming out of the car, right in. I mean, this pump is not the quietest. I will give it that. I worry about its longevity. It's also extremely loud, but I feel the flow going through it, and it's doing good. So we're just gonna wait and see what happens. While we wait, I'll show you how I got that garden hose, which is a little bit smaller ID than the barb on. This is a tool made by Milwaukee. This, we kind of joke around and say this is the rectal expander. And you'd hate to see this at a proctologist's office, but once you see it, you'll understand. This tool is actually made for expanding PEX-A, but it comes in a lot of different cone sizes too. So I have, I think, 6 or 7 cone sizes from 1/2 inch all the way up to 2.5, maybe 3 inches. But the 3-inch one is a different gun, so it's much bigger. But if you ever need to get a garden hose onto something, I don't know if you want to spend the money for this because this is kind of pricey. I bought these used, but still. I have other uses for it, that's why. But this, look at that. This is the stuff of nightmares. To give you an idea, this is a 1-inch cone. No, 1.5-inch cone. It goes up to 3 inches. There we have it, an entire barrel, 55 gallons, or maybe 50 of water completely emptied. And hopefully we'll be able to transfer much more water and use more water here as the time comes before we get everything all fixed. Awesome. That's almost a full barrel of water, if you see that. And there's no risk of overdoing it because these are the same size barrels. The real concern is we have 3 of these barrels, and 55 gallons of water is like 430, 440 pounds. So we're gonna have 1,200 pounds sitting right here. This house is constructed of I-beam and concrete, so I think we should be okay. But it's one of those things you never know because the construction was from the 1900s, and would you trust 1900s concrete and steel? Especially with 1,200 pounds. I mean, I know the British joke, you know, that's about the average weight of a average American, but I don't know about 1,200 pounds. So we'll see how that fares. And just like that, another day has passed. It's starting to get dark, and I'm sure if you guys can tell, I am drenched. So have a great day, guys. Hey guys. So one of the questions was, how does someone poop? And unfortunately, we had to test that theory out when one of my friends came over to help, that the poop real bad. So there's 2 things that are slightly concerning. Number 1, there's no water in here. Number 2, I feel like some of the traps might be leaking because I fill the toilet up with water just to keep the sewer gas out, and it's very much no longer has water in it. So that's something else I need to worry about. And that goes into the ground. So I don't know if that's a huge concern. Do I need to break up the concrete and worry about that or not? So that's a theory. But what I did pick up is I picked up this, it's threaded incorrectly, so it just pops right out. But this hand crank pump from Amazon. And this was the only one that was, well, for starters, it's very poorly made. It was the only one that was actually made out of a composite body, which allowed it to pump water. So most of these are actually made from metal, and they're designed to pump, like, let's say, oil or some sort of diesel out of a 55-gallon tub like this. So the internals are actually lubricated by that oil. So if you're using water, they tend to seize up over time. So I found this one. It wasn't the cheapest, but also it does serve its purposes. And our janitor, our old janitor, left us this disgusting cheese ball bucket. And essentially what I'm going to try to do is, I hope that makes it in. I'm going to try to pump some water out of this into this. And this is what you use to flush, but this is more or less like a test mule. All right, let's give that a shot. All right, here's our cheese test, I guess. Maybe I should attach this hose thing to it. Yeah, that might be a good idea. I could attach a motor to it. That should be good enough. That should be good enough. I was thinking maybe I could attach a motor to it in the future, but we'll see. I think the biggest issue I that didn't really discuss is these lids don't come off on these barrels, and I got these from a local, I guess, linen drying like laundry place, and they go through a lot of these a week, so I got them pretty cheap to store water. And then the nice part is actually they used to hold bleach or like some sort of chemical cleaner for clothes. So I was planning on using this water to power wash the roof, more of the gutters, the driveway, whatnot, and then clean the toilets. So that detergent actually does help. All right, so I'm mentally trying to figure out like what's a good way to put this. I guess I could put this on the ground. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna move you guys a little bit further back. All right, now we're talking. All right, disgusting cheese puff container, water. Ooh, I probably need to raise that up slightly, just so it doesn't spill out by accident. All right, got a little thing here. Boom. All right, let's give this a crankety shot. Well, I'll be darned, it works. It's not the best, but it does work, which is great. So, I mean, I don't know how many gallons that is, but it does pull water up. Boost, what is it? Come here. You want to say hi to the camera? You want to say hi? Yeah, so, all right. I guess I would call that a success. Don't drink that, Boost. So one of the things we were talking about was these barrels, the lids don't come off. So pumping the water in is easy. Getting the water out is difficult, and that's why that pump matters. I do have a bunch of larger sump pumps. All right, let's see if I can show you one of them. It's hard to see. Let me grab it. All right. There it is. I do have a bunch of larger sump pumps, but the issue with that is like you have to cut a massive hole in it to get it in there. The other style barrel was a lot cheaper. This style barrel was a lot cheaper. The other style barrel with a spin-off lid, I think I paid $20 per barrel, and these were $5 a barrel. So, and they were a lot closer. The other one's like a 2-hour drive. This one was, well, 2-hour round trip, so it was 1 hour each way. This one is maybe like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So it made sense. But that's just what we kind of have to live with. Also, to update, I've been using these barrels for a few weeks now, and they are a great success. The one hand pump is still holding up pretty good. I did spill some water. That's why the fan's running. You can hear that in the background. But that is doing really good. So people can technically pee and poop here, but not recommended, but possible in case of emergency. So it is in the middle of the night, and if I can find these light switches wherever they may be, because it's very dark. That's the wrong light switch. That's the correct light switch. So this is exciting. As you recall, the good old fire hose. As you see, what is this? It is a garden hose. It is a garden hose that goes along the floor. There was a little bit of water in it. That's why it's here. But this garden hose goes all the way up to the 3rd floor. And hopefully we'll be able to tap into this. Chances are we have to create some sort of contraption to pump the water out first, because these lids do not open. They're fully sealed. That's one of the good and bad parts about this system, is that they're completely sealed. So there's no risk of like knocking this over. Well, it's 475 pounds or something like that. So that'd be pretty crazy to hit that and knock it over. But we can finally pump water to the 3rd floor, which is super exciting. 2. This is a little teaser. So something is happening. Channel members already know what's happening, but you guys will soon know. And this is, as you see, the dining room, which has been cleaned out. And what is this? Some random 2x4s in the middle of the floor. I wonder what that could be. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully that'll be an exciting episode. It'll most likely be a side quest. So I'll let everyone know. Hope everyone has a good rest of the week. I'll see you next week. Bye. And I almost forgot, a special thanks to our channel members. That'd be Anel, Trude, Gary, Hogan, and this month, Snow Seal. Thanks a lot. I really do appreciate it. Hey guys, welcome to the end of the video. I had some extra time lapses and footage of water stuff that didn't really fit within the video or seemed redundant, so here they are in case you guys wanted to watch it. I actually ended up buying 17 of these barrels. They were just so cheap, and the guy, he said he had like 400 a week or something like that, which seemed ludicrous to me, but I figured at the end, when all of these were done, I could use them as rain barrels or, you know, some emergency water storage. These used to all carry bleach. I did get lucky and I got one that was hydrogen peroxide, so that's probably the cleanest barrel out of them all. So if I had an emergency drinking supply, I'd probably use that. I mean, I probably had to make 7 or 8 trips at least just to get most of these filled up. I think overall this entire video took approximately a month or 2 months to make, just because there's a lot of things going on, multiple things. I do have to update you guys on the pumping system that I've recently created to kind of move the water to the 3rd floor. I'm not sure if the sump pumps have enough head pressure to actually pump it to the 3rd floor yet either. So I might have to do a multi-stage system where I pump it to the 2nd floor and then have another pump to pump it to the 3rd floor and then have another pump to pump it to the roof, which I really hope that's not the case. A lot of these pump manufacturers really overestimate how high these can pump, and it's kind of misleading in the claims. But anyways, like I said, this is just some bonus footage. Thank you for staying to the end. I really do appreciate everyone. I hope everyone has a good week. And I'm thinking I'm probably going to start posting Wednesdays at 5. Hopefully that works out for me. It's been kind of hectic time-wise and stuff and a bunch of other stuff, but I'll try to stick to that schedule. And once again, thanks a lot for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you.